Hi everyone. Hello. I'm gonna wait for some people to join. I'm gonna share some stuff I'm feeling. I want to share some stuff. Hello everyone. I don't have my glasses, so I might not be able to read the comments, but I really want to share I just want to share what I'm going through. I want to share it in case anybody else is going through it. I just want whoever is feeling uncomfortable, out of control, anxious, stressed, I just want them to know that they're not crazy or alone and to not run from the uncomfortable. So, hi Iran. Hello, it's good to have you here. Hi Divine Love. What's up? You look like I felt yesterday. You guys, I have been through the ringer with this thing I'm going through with the IRS. But here's what I want to share with you guys. It's funny because I'm just going to share my personal stuff. I'll probably share more on Untangled. But I would say for the past 6 months, the energies are really intense, which is why I'm coming on. They may be feeling, and for some of you, it's like, what are you talking about? Everything's great. Life is really good, right? So it just depends on where you are. It doesn't mean that you're a more high vibrational human than I am. Okay, it just means that you're having different experiences. That's all. So if you're not feeling like I am, which is like, I'm pretty sure I'm in a washing machine or a dryer right now, and I can't get my footing. And there's other people that are walking around just like super chill. Life is good. That's okay. It doesn't mean that I'm in a low vibration because I feel uncomfortable. I think that is truly why I am constantly trying to talk about all of the uncomfortableness that I go through, because especially as a teacher, right, as somebody that speaks about energies and consciousness and dimensions, at the end of the day, we're all human. And at the end of the day, we're all going through something. We're all learning how to navigate these energetic shifts. We just don't talk about it. A lot of us don't talk about it because we feel like there's something wrong with us during these times. We should have it all together. A lot of people just want to keep it to themselves and go through it in their own kind of internal or in their own private world. It all makes sense. But I'm choosing to speak about it out loud because it's these moments that are the most transformational, the moments when I am most uncomfortable, the moments when I am in the most amount of stress, the moments when I want to numb myself, right? These are the moments where I tap into the collective. Sorry, I got to move this so I can see. These are the moments where I tap into the collective energy and I can feel all of us. And I think to myself, Jesus, man, like, I know what's going on. I know what's happening on the planet, and I'm having a rough go of it, and a rough go of it just means that I'm holding stress in my body. I'm not sad or depressed. There's nothing wrong with me. I don't need to, figure out how to fix this. It just is. And one of the things that I think humanity has been rattled into practicing in 2022, that a lot of us have a hard time doing, is being comfortable in the uncomfortable and not fixing it. I speak about this all the time, and I practice it. We have got to learn how to be comfortable in the uncomfortable. We've got to just, that song, like, nobody's going to break my stride. That does not mean that you move yourself into what we have considered high vibration all the time, that you need to be feeling good all the time, that you need to go do all these things to shift your mindset. I'm telling you, if you have been running in 2022, if you have been trying to figure out how to not look at what you need to look at or not deal with it, 2023 is going to rattle the fuck out of us. We are, in my deepest core being, I know that we are learning, we are practicing how to stand in a storm, how to stand in the fire and not get burned. Which means, how do I go through whatever it is that I am in without running? Do you know how courageous that is? Just the simple act of being in what you are feeling and not running from it is really, really difficult. We want to fix it or change it, figure out why, judge ourselves, and numb ourselves because it doesn't feel good. But I just wanted to jump on today and remind you that the courage it takes to stand in uncomfortableness and not run, to stop chasing enlightenment, to stop chasing good vibes, to stop chasing positive emotions, to stop chasing the good feelings, to stop chasing some sort of other world that you really wish that you could stand in. We are learning, we are remembering that there's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to go. There's nothing to shift out of. Nothing to shift out of. There's no such thing as this idea that you need to feel a specific way in order to be a specific way, right? Like, I should be feeling ... I shouldn't have these experiences right now. I shouldn't have these thoughts. I shouldn't think these things. Everything is being shown to you so that you can see what you've been ignoring, what you've been denying, what you've been trying not to feel. I mean, what if the big cosmic joke, right, is that this isn't about finding anything. This is about standing in the most uncomfortable and realizing that you're not any of it. And so you're learning how to stand in every single thing that comes up. And the energies right now, before this new year, they are like I've never seen anything like this. There's a collective feeling that so many humans are being shown. If you're not paying attention to what you need to see and feel and hear and do right now, unless you're running real fast, right now, you or people around you, right, are really being rattled. I'm talking lifted up and thrown on the ground. You know, my dearest, I shouldn't even go into it right now, but there's a lot going on for people, including myself, that's going to rattle us into what we need to see. And nobody gets out of this without being rattled in some way. It's just a matter of what do you need to be rattled into? What do you need to courageously see and feel? And how important is it? You know, how important is it for you to be rattled? I know this is a really challenging piece for people to hold, and there's layers to this, right? But everything that's happening in our lives right now is to shift us, is to move us, is to get us to do things in new ways. Everything. And I know that these types of conversations are for people that aren't in necessarily like survival mode, right? You know, these conversations are for people that actually have the luxury to be able to just listen and they're not so stressed out that they're going from one job to the other, or they're raising 6 kids on their own and they're running around with their heads cut off, right? Those humans don't have time for these messages. They don't give a shit. We're actually lucky to be able to actually have the privilege, the ability to actually just listen to a message like this, you know, and to understand or to remember what we're going through. And even us that are the privileged ones, in my opinion, we have a hard time going through this. You know, imagine the humans that don't even have the ability to stop and listen, to stop and feel, to stop and breathe. They just have to survive. Humanity is in survival mode right now. Many humans are in survival mode. You know, and that survival mode can sometimes create a lot of hostility on the planet. A lot of hostility within ourselves and a lot of hostility with other humans. And so the more that we can practice being comfortable in our own uncomfortableness, the easier it's going to be to navigate what's coming on the planet. This is an energetic ride. This is an energetic game. This is an energetic roller coaster. It's all energetic. And nobody is immune to it. You know, nobody gets out of this without going through the energetic roller coaster. It's just a matter of how conscious are you, and what's your life like? You know, do you have the privilege to actually truly feel a lot? Or are you just trying to survive right now, you know? There's so many different layers to this human experience right now. There's so many different layers that we're going through, that humans are experiencing. It's really intense out there, and it's okay to say that. It's okay to not be in this, like, you know, you guys know me. I am not a like positive think, be in high vibe. Like that shit bugs the fuck out of me, because it's bypassing. It's not the true human experience. The true human experience is all of it. It's the dark, it's the uncomfortable, it's the love, it's the happiness, it's the joy, and it's everything in between. And it's not, you should only be in these specific experiences. Right? Well, you sound like you're down, or you sound like, you know, you're not lifting people up, or whatever it is that people may feel. I don't give a fuck. This is human. This is the human experience. I think we need to speak more about these moments. These are the moments that humans hide from. We're uncomfortable seeing people uncomfortable. We're uncomfortable hearing people talk about how they're unhappy, or they're depressed, or they're sad. We don't like it. Why? Because we think it's actually going to affect us. That's how unsovereign we are. We think that somebody else talking about how sad they are, or unhappy they are, or down they are, or uncomfortable they are, that somehow that's going to impact our own experience, and it's going to take us down, bring us down. Dude, snap the fuck out of unsovereignty. Like, take responsibility for your own experience. You know? This human journey is, you know, it's a roller coaster. And if we can't start getting comfortable, really comfortable, with not having high vibe. By the way, ps.com, the highest vibrational state that you can be in is when you are standing in a storm and not running, which means that you are feeling all the uncomfortable feels and you don't run from it. That is a much higher vibration than if you are feeling uncomfortable experiences and numbing yourself and running from it. Afraid. Right? So it's like, and who gives a fuck what vibration and frequency you're at anyways? Like, just be. None of it matters, because you're not those vibrations and you're not those frequencies anyways. It's your body that's holding those frequencies and vibrations. It's not even you. This whole identification with frequency and vibration as if we are that is a real big mind fuck. because it's actually not you. Who are you identifying yourself as? You're identifying yourself as the frequencies and the vibrations that you're feeling. Well, then that means that you're literally identifying yourself as the emotions, thoughts, beliefs, and behaviors that you're doing and that you're experiencing, because that is what reflects your vibration and frequency. It's your body that's the vibration and frequency, not you. Who are you? Who is the you that's listening to this? On a much higher level, you're a consciousness that's in the body experiencing all of this. You are not the vibration and frequency that your body is moving you through. So that's a whole other topic of like, oh my God, don't be in a low vibration, don't be in a high vibration, or whatever these things are that we attach to. It's just the experience that the body's moving you through. You know, it's just the experience that the body's moving you through. It's not you. You don't have to go anywhere. There's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to go. There's no state to move yourself into. You don't have to get out of anything. When we are trying to get ourselves out of something, you will find yourself in suffering, which is fine. Suffering is part of the human experience. It's okay to suffer, but it's not necessary. And not suffering doesn't mean that you don't feel uncomfortable, that you don't feel pain or anger or rage or sadness or irritability or stress or anxiety or any of those things. Suffering just means that you don't believe that you are it. You're not attaching to it as you, anchoring it into your reality. That's what suffering does. But we all suffer until we stop identifying with what we're experiencing, and then we just simply experience it, and it's very intense what we're going through. It's very intense to feel stress and anxiety and worry. It's very intense to physically be ill. It's very intense to not feel like you have control over your life. It's really, really intense. Yes, it is. And there's nothing wrong with what we're in. There's nothing wrong with feeling all of the feels. There's nothing wrong. The fastest way that I have experienced myself moving through the really uncomfortable is to just be in the uncomfortable. You know, letting the stress of what I'm going through right now move through my body. Let it take over. You know, let it cause me to wake up at 4 a.m. Who gives a fuck? Next. You know, let the stress cause me to not eat for freaking 12 hours because I'm so stressed out. Okay. And wow, Lori, look at what you're feeling. Look at what you're experiencing. There's layers to this. So I'm not saying that if you are experiencing, you know, really horrific things that you should just be like, oh, look what you're experiencing. But at the same time, yeah. The number one, you know, message here is we've got to get more comfortable with the uncomfortable. That's it. We've got to stand in the fire. And there is nowhere for us to run. There's nowhere to run. That's what that's what we've been learning. I can promise you in 2023 that we will be shown that. Stop running. Stop running. Stop running. Stop blaming yourself for what you're experiencing. Stop beating yourself up. Stop judging yourself. You know, stop. Let your mind take you there and then just bring yourself back to presence. Bring yourself back to presence. Bring yourself back to breath. And then let the emotions run and take you somewhere. And then bring yourself back to presence. Bring yourself back to breath. And then let the emotions run wild in you. And then bring yourself back to presence. Bring yourself back to breath. Hi, Ryan. If you guys aren't following Ryan Rose Evans, I think he just joined. You got to go follow this man. He's amazing. Hi, my friend. Anyway, that's it, you guys. That's my message. You know, let yourself get burned. Let yourself be uncomfortable. Let yourself be in whatever you're in. Let the fire burn you until you realize that you aren't the fire. Let yourself roll around in so much uncomfortableness that you start laughing because you realize finally that you are not the uncomfortableness. Let yourself be pummeled so much by the external and internal experiences you're having that you realize that there's nothing to be afraid of, that nothing can destroy you. That's how courageous you are. Ryan Rose Evans, I said. Ryan Rose Evans. So there it is. I'm literally at the laundromat. I go to the laundromat to do my laundry. I think some of you guys know that. And one of the things I'll share quickly before I go is since about July, I've been having this internal guidance. This is a real struggle for me. There's this internal guidance that I need to just take a time out, you know. Pretty burnt out, you know. I feel pretty burnt out on many levels. And so I keep getting this guidance that I need to take a time out. And so I'm getting audited by the IRS, and it's extremely stressful. So I've been taking like 2 days of just like, okay, Lori, just do this stuff. And it's made me pause. You know, I'm not thinking about showing up. I'm not thinking about my work. And I'm like, yeah, this is the lesson I'm here to get is, you know, just take the time, Lori. You got to take the time and, you know, devour what this audit is giving you, this IRS audit. And come to the laundromat, recognizing the stress is leaving my body. What do I fucking do? A video. What do I do? An Instagram live. Like, you know, these are tiny little ways in which we are constantly going to be shown, you know, the deeper message here, and we don't listen, and that's okay. It's fine. So what? But just pay attention to what's happening with you, what's happening internally. Pay attention. Be the observer of what is going on. Be the observer and laugh if you can. Be the observer and just be like, here we go again. 17,000th time, right? Observe yourself. Observe everything. The shifts, the change happens as the observer. It's when you're in observation that empowerment arises. It's when you're observing yourself that the transformation happens, right? It's when you're allowing yourself to just simply go through everything as the observer. So the observer does not mean that you bypass. People get really confused about this. The observer is not bypassing. The observer is experiencing and feeling everything while simultaneously watching yourself experience it, which means that you're not attaching and judging yourself as it. So for example, for the last literally probably 24 straight hours, other than the 6 hours I slept, I've been stressed out doing this paperwork for the stupid IRS. And my body has been in a high level of stress. I could feel it in my body. So what am I doing? I'm feeling all of it while I am simultaneously watching myself go through it. I'm feeling the stress in my body. I'm aware of what the stress is doing. I can't eat. I can't think about anything else, whatever, right? I'm watching that while I am feeling it all. That is empowerment. That is when you are standing in the fire and you don't get burned because you're not running from anything. You're not ignoring, denying, or attaching to any of it. You're experiencing it all. You're experiencing everything. I didn't judge myself. I didn't judge myself. It didn't feel good. It's going to come up again because I have to keep doing this shit for the IRS. So it's still going to come up. Stress is still going to come into my body. But right here, right now, stress is not in my body at all. How do I know? Because I know what it feels like when I had it in my body, and it's not in my body right now. What does that mean? It means that every single thing that we experience is designed to move through your body. I do not have a milliliter of stress in my body right now. Will I have a milliliter of stress in my body in 6 hours? Maybe, maybe not. All I know is that right now it's completely gone out of my body. I'm not experiencing the stress. Everything is energy that is designed to move through you. That is physics. That is how this entire human experience works, and that is the most challenging thing for humans to understand because feeling is intense, especially if you're in your body. Feeling is insane in the membrane. It's the craziest thing that you get to experience is feeling. The fact that you get to experience feeling pain and anger and rage and sadness and depression and whatever it is a miracle, but it's intense. And so the moment that we feel it, we've been programmed to judge it. And when you judge it, you attach to it as if it's you. And when you do that, you grab it. And when you grab it, it anchors into your reality. When it anchors into your reality, it doesn't go anywhere. It stays in your body. And now you're walking around anchoring stress all day. Instead of simply allowing stress to destroy you, meaning I'm going to give all of this moment and let stress just be. Let it move through me. Let it move through my veins. Let it do what it needs to do. Let stress, the energy of stress, do what it needs to do. I'm just giving you an example of my experience. I don't know how you experience stress or what you're going through. But what I'm simply saying is anything that you are feeling is designed to just simply move through you. That's it. It's just, and if you allow that, if you simply allow that, it won't last for very long, whatever long is. It tends to seriously move out of your body. So then, of course, like I always say, it's like, what are the tools that you have in your tool belt, that can assist you in moving through what you're feeling? But if you're in the washing machine right now, if you're in the dryer, if you're being rattled, if you're feeling out of control, if you're feeling irritable, if you're feeling like this isn't going to end, if you're feeling whatever you're feeling, don't run from it. Find the tools that you have to go through it. Don't run from it. Be in it. Get more courageous. Get more bold, right? Remind yourself that you are here to be able to go through anything, because you're not it. So the more intense it becomes, this is the practice. This is the battlefield. This is it. This is the battlefield. You're learning how to be in the battle. You're learning how to stand in this with everyone. We're all doing it. Right? The reason I love that analogy is because life isn't easy. I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't see life as necessarily this beautiful, it's an amazing experience. Life is freaking awesome. Life is incredible. Everything about this planet is unbelievable. Being in a human body is unbelievable. Being able to touch other human bodies, being able to feel, being able to see all this physicality. This planet, this world is incredible. It's the greatest experience that consciousness can have. 1 bazillion%. But guess what? Simultaneously, We're in an energetic battlefield where we are learning how to be in all of this energetic transformation and not fucking run from it. As if there's somewhere to go. As if you're in control of what you experience. You're not. You're not in control of what you experience as much as you may think you are. You're in control of just showing up with life and letting life serve you. If you think that you're in control of life, then you're still going to be running from things you don't want to feel, you don't want to see, you don't want to be. It's in the not running, in the not trying to control, and literally saying, life show me, life serve me, I'm here for all of this, let's go. That you become empowered, powerful, courageous, and free. And that's what we're here to learn. But there's so much programming. And there's a lot of programming in the spiritual community. There's a lot of programming in the realm of enlightenment, the realm of bettering ourselves, right? Just the idea of bettering ourselves creates an attachment. Right? When you think about I'm here to better myself, then that means that there's a version of you that's not good and there's a version of you that's better. Right? If you just simply know that whatever you are in is what you are in and you're constantly shifting, there isn't a better than or good better than or worse than, then you won't run from anything. You'll just be like, oh, what's showing up to shift me? And shifting being the body is energetically moving into different frequencies, higher vibrational states. The body, not you. You're a consciousness in a vessel that's experiencing this. You know, having this awareness over and over again, having ourselves be told this over and over and over again assists us so that when we're in that uncomfortable, when we're in that intensity, when the body's rattling us with these emotions that it's moving through, we can remember, wait a second. This is energy moving through my body. I think I said this the other day, right? Like, just tell yourself it's energy moving through your body. Breathe. It's really hard. It's very, very difficult. All I was feeling was stress. That's it. Just stress. And stress from something as stupid as the IRS, right? And it can rattle the body. You know, it throws you off center. So it doesn't take much. So if you've been going through a lot, give yourself a pat on the back. Give yourself a round of freaking applause, right? Like go buy yourself some flowers and do something nice for yourself. You're going through a lot. Even if life is easy for you right now, you're going through a lot. Because you're watching the external world shift. Right? Put your seatbelts on, you guys. Get comfortable in the uncomfortable. Stop running from anything that you don't want to feel, that you don't want to see, that you don't want to hear. We're warriors. We're not designed to run. We're designed to stand in this. We're designed to ebb and flow. We're designed to break down and get back up. We are designed to break to our knees and get back up. We are designed to be the biggest shit shows on the planet and then stand back up and say, I'm a freaking badass. Did you see how I got through that? That was a shit show, but I survived. I am proud of myself. You know, that's that, and not this like, oh, this is a low vibration, this is a high vibe, or how do I move myself into high vibrations, or how do I stay in a higher state, or any of that bullshit. None of that matters when you're just letting life gift you with life. Let life just gift you with what it's gifting you. And the more that you're in a flow state, the more that you're just showing up and present, I guarantee you, the more it's going to be like this. It shouldn't be like this. And it shouldn't be like this. And it shouldn't be like this. It's going to be like this if you're in a flow state. This is what you're going to feel right now. for quite some time, perhaps. It's going to be this like up and down, up and down, up and down. Because you're in flow. You're not controlling your emotions. You're not controlling anything. And when you stop controlling, you're not going to go straight up into these high vibrations over and over and over and over again. That's absolute fucking bullshit. You're not going to flatline and be all numbed out. That's bullshit. And you're not going to go down, 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 down. All those three states, straight up, flatlined, or straight down, only occur because you are trying to control something or attach to something. You're trying to control going up, you're trying to numb out, or you're attaching to this idea that you're going to stay in these other states that you don't like. When you let go of all of it, none of it fucking matters. You are doing this. This is life. It's life. And the more you throw your hands up and say, I'm just in this, let's go, the easier it's going to be to move into a flow state. And the reason that being in a flow state is so important is because somehow, you find a way to be content in a pretty chaotic world. Somehow you know that you're not going to be destroyed in one of the most chaotic times on the planet. You start really building up courage to feel anything. Nothing scares you in terms of emotions any longer, because you've been allowing yourself to do this. And when you allow yourself to go up and down and all over the place, then you realize that you can experience everything and none of it is you. And you come through everything. Think of everything that you've gone through in the past. Think of how those things that you were going through that you didn't like, did you attach to them? Did you judge yourself? Did you try to change it? Did you try to fix it? And how long did it last? And then think about the times where you just let it flow. This is the thing about like higher emotional states, right? When you feel love or happiness, joy, peace, you know, those types of emotions, we don't grab it. We're in flow with it. You're in flow. You're in a flow state when you feel really enjoyable energies, right? When you feel happiness, you're not like, oh my God, I'm feeling happiness. What am I doing now? What do I do with this happiness? Why am I feeling this happiness? You don't do that. When you feel happiness, happiness just moves through you. It's a fleeting experience. It's a fleeting energy. Next thing you know, happiness has gone and something else comes in. That is how we are designed to be with every energy, with every emotion. That's truly what we are stepping into and learning. How do I be with stress or irritability or sadness or uncomfortableness the same way that I am with happiness? Now, a lot of people are going to say, but Lori, if you are the same way, right? This is the argument. If you are the same way with sadness as you are with happiness, isn't sadness going to stay? No. Did happiness stay? The only way happiness stays is if you're grabbing happiness and trying to force yourself to stay into a happy state. Contentment is always here, right? This level of contentment. We're learning how to be able to be uncomfortable and find contentment, to find peace, to find happiness. These are natural states of being that we are not designed to force ourselves into. They're natural states of being. This idea that the human has that they have to control and move. I've always got to be happy. I've always got to be positive. I've always got to be with this joy, right? I'm not saying that there aren't humans that are just naturally always happy. I just would like to investigate their energetic bodies and figure out what the fuck's really going on in there. Because the human body is going through a massive evolution. There's a lot of trauma that is being released from the body. It's got to go up and down. And we're learning how to be in that turmoil and simultaneously drop into contentment and peace. and happiness underneath that, instead of I have to force myself to be happy. I have to force myself to be joyful. I have to force myself to be positive. I have to force myself. No, you don't. You don't. You have to force yourself to be present. That's all. And don't attach to what you're experiencing as if it's you and as if you need to change it. Be aware of it. Be conscious of what you're saying to yourself. Be conscious of how you're navigating life. And again, there's always these layers, right? Because if you're going through something really traumatic in your body, a physical thing in your body, it's really difficult to navigate the very limiting beliefs you're going to have. I'm going to die. I'm never going to get through this, right? So you want to be aware of those limiting beliefs. And the reason you want to be aware of them is because you want to recognize how powerful they are. And then the moment you recognize the limiting beliefs and you recognize how powerful they are, then they start shifting. Then you start shifting your thoughts. But if you try to shift the thoughts by not realizing how powerful they are, they're just going to keep coming back. You got to really recognize the power of the thought. And the way you recognize how powerful the thought is that you become the observer. You're observing the thought. What a lot of us do is we identify as the thought. We recognize the thought's not good. I'm bad for thinking these things. I have to change my thoughts. And then again, we're on this perpetual fight against what simply just wants to be seen. Right? Which simply just wants to be experienced. Thoughts are the same thing. Deep limiting thoughts are so profound. They're so potent. They're so powerful. They deserve to be like wow. They deserve our attention. They deserve to be seen and to be like, holy shit, you are powerful. You are powerful. Wow. And from that place of recognizing and observing how powerful the thought is, then you begin to shift out of the thought. But if you look at a limiting belief and you're judging yourself and literally trying to claw yourself out of that horrible limiting belief, I shouldn't be thinking this isn't a good thing, blah, 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 then you're denying and ignoring what simply just wants to be observed by you, honored by you. Can you see the power? Can you see the power of how intense your limiting beliefs are? Can you be in awe of them? That's when you're the observer. That's when you realize that you are not your limiting beliefs. And that's when they start to change. Anyway, you guys, I got to go get my laundry. I literally go to the laundromat. Don't even ask. I don't know why. I mean, I know why I don't have a washer and dryer, but I don't know why I don't move to a place that has a washer and dryer. You know, this person did a video on me the other day and they said I was homeless because I always do videos in my car. Oh, the judgments we place on others. The judgments we place on others. Pay attention, you guys. People are going through a lot right now. And they're going to take it out on you, and you may be taking it out on others. There is tornadoes erupting within all of us, or many of us. There are ebbs and flows. There is shit that has been buried inside of us that we don't want to recognize, that we don't want to see, that we don't want to feel. Right? And so just pay attention. Have more compassion and empathy for people, not less. Let people say whatever they're going to say. You know, don't let yourself get hurt. Obviously, hold firm boundaries if that's what you need to do, but just recognize what's going on. People are going through the ringer. You know, people are trying to survive. People don't want to see what unfortunately they've been through their life. You know, we've all had massive amounts of trauma. Trauma can be as simple as a teacher telling you, you know, that was a stupid question. That's trauma. Trauma can be as simple as your neighbor saying, you know, you're too loud, you can't play with my kid. That's trauma. Trauma can be the simplest things. Trauma does not mean that you've been molested or beat up or neglected. That's not necessary. Trauma can be something very, very simple that has a profound impact on you your entire life. And we all have trauma. And the evolution in human consciousness is recognizing what we have gone through externally that has been programmed within us for us to believe that it is who we are. And we begin to unravel from this deep, deep programming and the intense internal trauma that we have used as the lens to navigate our life. And that is what humanity is doing. We are peeling ourselves back, away from, we are unraveling from the deep trauma that has dictated our entire lives. So if someone's saying in a video about me that I'm homeless because I do all my videos in a car and my this and that, whatever they're saying, right? There's just trauma in there. That's it. There's trauma. It's okay. Everybody has that trauma. It's going to continue to arise, whether it's small ways or big ways. It's going to keep coming up for all of us. That's why it's so important to remember what's happening on the planet. That's why it's so important to have more compassion for yourself and for other humans if you can. Might not be easy right now. You might want to pull your hair out and scream and yell at people, but can you be the observer of that? Can you simply observe and feel and remember, right? All of that. Open your hearts a little bit more. Recognize that everything you're going through is moving through you. That you're not crazy. That this is a massive evolutionary shift in consciousness on a planetary body. And nobody is immune to it. And we're all going to experience it. And we all get to experience it in the ways that we are experiencing it. So how are you standing in this evolution? How are you standing in the rattling? How are you finding more gratitude for the beauty of life? How are you finding more courage to feel what's arising? How are you finding the strength to continue to be the observer as often as possible? Trying to remember to have more understanding for other people, right? Laugh more, love more, dance more, play more, while you simultaneously feel everything. While you allow yourself to be uncomfortable. And then you let the uncomfortable move. You don't attach to it. Because you're not the uncomfortable. I love you guys so much. Thanks for being here. So much for taking a time out. I don't know, man. It's hard for me to take time outs. It's really hard for me not to show up. Anyway, I love you guys. Be gentle with yourself. Be gentle with others. And let the energies just move. Everything you're feeling, everything you're thinking, everything you're being, everything you're doing. It's just energy moving through you. Mwah! Love you.